So today I want to talk about the power of rejection. So as a footballer, if you haven't faced rejection yet, you're inevitably gonna face it. Now we've all faced rejection. It's like whether that be for trials to get into a new team, whether that maybe be academy trials, or maybe a trials to get into like a football college, or a football college, whether you're in the UK or the US or whatever country you're from. We've all probably went for a trial, went for like some sort of football quote unquote audition, and we just haven't got in, we haven't made it. And obviously it's disheartening, and then you're forced to go home and just sort of look yourself in the mirror and just say, all right, cool, where did it go wrong? You have to analyze what went wrong. Were you nervous? Was your pre-game preparation not the best? And basically just what you need to work on your game. Is it your passing, your shooting, your dribbling, your decision making? Just little things like after you get rejected from, let's say, a trial, you just have to go home, look yourself in the mirror and just say, yo, it is what it is, and it is what it is, and I just have to make the changes to become a better player. Because obviously I feel like when you go home after you get rejected from that trial, let's say, you should just go home and just give yourself half an hour to just let out all your emotions. Just let out all your emotions, like whether you're sad, you're angry, you're confused. Just give yourself like half an hour to just let out all the emotions. Like, and I'm talking about doing this privately. Like, you can just, let's say, you just go to your room and just take half an hour to just let everything out. Like, whether that's you want to punch the wall because you're angry, whether you're devastated and you want to drop a couple of tears, you want to cry. Hey, that's cool. As long as you do it in private and just do it for half an hour, just let all your emotions out. Whether you just sit there confused and you're just sort of just analyze, just look, just thinking to yourself, "Alright, cool. Why did I get in?" Maybe even you felt robbed. Maybe you felt like you did enough to actually get into the trials, but eventually the coach just said, "Nah, I don't want you on the team." Maybe you feel like there's politics. Maybe you feel like there's favoritism, but it is what it is. But in my opinion, after you get rejected off those trials, just take that half an hour in private just to allow all your emotions. Like I said, if you want to punch the wall in when you're angry, if you want to cry because you're devastated, if you're just confused and you just want to, just sit there and just think to yourself, where did it all go wrong? In my opinion, you should just you should just give yourself that half an hour just to allow all your emotions. Because if you keep your emotions inside, if you try to, convince yourself that you're okay when you're clearly not okay, it's harder for you to move on. In my opinion, when you give yourself that short period of time by yourself, just to let everything out, it's just easier to just move on and just get back on that horse and just sort of just go back to the basics, go back to the drawing board, and just ask yourself, all right, cool, where do I need to improve? What area of my game do I need to improve? Is it technically? Is it physically? Is it mentally? Is it my preparation, my training wise? Whatever you need to do in order to make sure that you never taste that feeling of rejection again. Even when you look at the best players in the world, the professionals, a lot of them have been rejected when they were younger. You look at a guy like Eberichi Eze, like this guy was talking about he'd been rejected by like 3 academies when he was younger, but eventually he made it to QPR, and then moved to Palace, and then now he's playing games for England. He's considered one of the best players in the Prem, especially one of the best players outside the top 6. His name is probably somewhere at the top. Then you get like a superstar like Griezmann. Obviously, this guy went on trial for a lot of French clubs growing up. I think in particular it was Marseille, but obviously Marseille rejected him because they said he was too small. They said he was too little. So I'm pretty sure when he was like 14, 15, he moved to Spain. And then when he was in Spain, Real Sociedad ended up picking him up. Then obviously we all know what happened from there. Went to Real Sociedad, played for France, won the World Cup. Atletico won trophies there. Went to Barca, Atletico, and now he's considered one of the best players of his generation of like the 2010s. So all in all, football is just a game of opinion, and football is just a game of opinion. Maybe you just weren't a coach's player. It doesn't really reflect your ability. It's not that you're a bad player. Maybe you just want a coach's type of player. You don't really fit the system. He was looking for a specific type of player. There are even trials that you go to where it's like the coach brings like 20 players, but realistically he only really wants 2 players. Like, I remember that's happened to me before. I've gone to trials where there's been so many people who come to the trials, so you think, okay, they've brought like 50 people to these trials. Surely they're taking at least 10. then the coach ends up only picking one or maybe two, because maybe he only needed a left back. Maybe that's literally it. Maybe you go to that trial, you're a striker, and from the beginning you had no chance because the coach was literally only really looking for a left back, because he was looking at his squad saying, all right, cool, my striker position is good, wingers, midfielders, I just need a left back or a right back, just a fullback on either side. He was just looking for maybe just a single fullback on either side, and unfortunately you just weren't the player he was looking for. He was looking for a left back from the beginning. So from the beginning, it was a lose-lose. It was a lose-lose for you without you actually knowing. From the beginning, probably wasn't really paying attention to you. You probably had to, go there and to the trials and probably like bag 10 goals the whole day for him to even, consider you, to give you a look in. So, in my opinion, when you get rejected from trials, it's just, you just have to take it as it is what it is. Just, go back to the drawing boards, go back to the basics, and find opportunities elsewhere. Because, like I said, if you are a good player, there will be a team for you. There will be a system for you. You just have to, keep trying, and eventually it shouldn't even take that long, to be honest. Eventually you should find a team that appreciates what you bring to the table, who needs what you need, who needs what you bring to the table. So like I said, maybe there is a team looking, if you're a striker, there is a team looking for a striker, looking to upgrade in that position. You go to the trials, you show them your quality, and then from there they pick you up and you end up just performing for them. So like I said, football is usually just a game of opinions. It doesn't really, isn't really a reflection of who you are as a player. It's just like I said, there's so many different variables that go into a trial, that go into getting picked for a team. And like I said, if when you get rejected, you just have to go back to the drawing board, go back, like I said, just go back to your room and just think about it, allow all your emotions, and just think about what's happened, basically. In my opinion, when you get rejected, just use it as a chip on your shoulder. Just because when you have that chip on your shoulder, you kind of just get that mentality of like, oh nah, fuck everyone else. Like you just sort of get that chip on your shoulder of like, yo, you feel like you need to prove yourself. It just makes you go 10 times harder, because you don't want to feel that. You don't want that feeling again. You don't want that feeling of rejection. You don't want that feeling of somebody telling you you're not good enough. Because all in all, as footballers, we don't like that feeling. We don't like that feeling of someone telling us we're not good enough, because in our own heads, we all feel like, all right, cool, we deserve to play at a certain level. We all have a level where we feel like we deserve to be. And when a coach says that we're not at that level, it hurts your ego, it hurts your pride. But obviously, like I said, in my opinion, rejection is a good thing, because it gives you that chip on your shoulder. The next day, the next day you literally might go out, go to the Astro, go to the park, and literally just bang a 2-hour training session, literally just going at a crazy intensity, because it's still fresh in your mind. That rejection is still fresh. It's still fresh in your mind. And also just have the mentality of like, yo, this rejection happened. It is what it is, whether it be, for your local team, for a semi-pro team, or even a professional academy. Just tell yourself that, yo, this is just a story in the journey that I'll be telling people when I eventually make it. This is just a part of the story. Let's just have that mentality. Just have that mentality of, all right, cool, I got rejected, but trust me, when I make it, I'm gonna tell this story. I'm gonna tell this story of when that club passed me up when I was 13, when this club passed me up when I was 15. Just like Eze. Look, Eze, he didn't put his head down. He didn't give up, get upset, become demotivated. He just kept working hard. And then eventually, when he got to Crystal Palace, when he started playing games for England, he got to tell that story of, all right, cool, this club rejected me, this club rejected me, this club rejected me. And now probably all them clubs looking back at it now, looking at the Blades become, they probably regret it themselves. They're probably like, damn, like we missed out. What I'm saying? We missed out on a baller there. So that's all I've got to say about rejection. I hope you enjoyed the vid. I've been JT, and I'm out.